Well, how's it going, guys? Good morning. Actually, good afternoon. Um, Welcome to obviously the Stew stream, Scream Seven predictions. Obviously, you guys know me. My name is Ghostface Fanatic. I'm the host, as you guys. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get started here. Just wait for some people to get in here. Obviously, there is a lot of people that are at work right now, so we may not get any much people today. But that'll be all right because I'm doing a stream later on tonight, so we'll see how it turns out. But um, but yeah, so let's just get into it. So obviously, we're gonna be talking about stew theories, and just Scream Seven in general today, of course. And obviously later on tonight, 9:30, we're gonna be doing another stream. Obviously, the Friday the 13th stream. So it should be a lot of fun. But yeah, so let's just get into it. So first things first, I just want to thank everyone for the support. It really means a lot. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe button as well if you would. Like, I know a lot of people are at work right now, so I would appreciate it though if you could somehow, if you could hit the like button still while you're at work or whatever, while you're on lunch. Um, I would appreciate it. But yeah, there's a lot of people I know that are probably not going to be like probably not going to make it today. Obviously, because it is a little early right now. So, but that's fine. I really just wanted to do a stream, and to see how it turns out, and obviously we're doing a stream later tonight as well. But anyways, just wait for see if some people pop up. But for right now, we're just gonna get into obviously Scream Seven. So as you all know, Scream Seven is set to release next year, I think. Um, and there's been a lot of like rumors and a lot of like speculation. Like we don't really know 100% like when. I'm thinking that we're gonna get the trailer sometime like in November, October, um, like we did Scream Six. So I do think that we will get the trailer, this in around November-ish, like this year, of course. And then obviously the release date will probably be in January or February of 2025. I'm assuming, or March. Um, or it could be a little bit later than that, but I think that we're gonna get it personally in March or February. I think that makes the most sense. Um, and like I was saying, I think we're gonna see the trailer in October, November, around there. So, but yeah, I'm really, really excited for this film. I'm really excited, and I just want to see like I really hope Stu comes back. I've been saying that I said that even last night as well. That I really, really want Stu back. Um, but unfortunately, I don't know 100% if he's going to be back because, of course, it's just a theory that people have. Um, and there's a lot of things to be excited about, about Scream 7, like Kevin Williamson returning, which that's really, really, that's huge. And I think that he's gonna be like the if Scream 7 ends up being like one of the best sequels out there, or trilogies or whatever you want to call it, it's gonna be because Kevin Williamson, his storytelling, all that stuff that like I was saying last night, it's just he's just so good at storytelling, and he understands Scream. He understands it. So I feel like we're gonna definitely get a great like story, a great storyline. That's just what I personally think. But yeah, there is a lot of question marks in terms of like the new directors and whatnot, because they are young, they are unproven. There's a lot of question marks with them, but I definitely think that this film is definitely going to be one of the best, like one of the best trilogies. Now, if Stu does not return, as I was saying, if Stu does not return, I'm going to be really disappointed in that, because Scream 7 or Scream 6 and 5 kind of shows it's basically like a great setup. You get all those Easter eggs and whatnot. If he doesn't return, it's gonna be disappointing, But I'm not saying that he's not gonna return. I'm not saying that he is. All I'm saying is that we're gonna have to wait and see, because I don't know 100% if he is or not. It's just a theory that everyone has as of right now. So we don't know 100% if he's going to be back. All we could do is really speculate about him possibly coming back, But I want to see him, I really do want to see him, like, so bad. Like, you guys do not know, like, how bad I want to see him. Like, Stu is if he comes back, the whole theater is gonna go absolutely crazy. Like, I'm gonna go crazy too. Like, especially if the killer en masse and it's Stu. Like, that's gonna be like the craziest moments, probably. No. But I really hope that they don't. And this is another thing that I want. All right. Or something that I'm basically going to go over, I guess, worst case scenarios, I guess. I'm just going to I'm going to talk about some worst case scenarios, something that could happen, with this film, like something like there's basically worst case scenarios and whatnot. So I think that the worst case scenario would be if they gave away, like, if Stu returns. I think the worst thing that they could do is obviously spoil us in the trailer. I don't want to see that. I don't want them to spoil us in the trailer. I hate when trailers kind of like give it away somewhat. Like Scream 6 didn't really do. I don't feel like it did a good job in terms of like hiding a lot of stuff. So I guess that's kind of like the thing that I would like to see. I would like to see. I would like them to kind of like keep it a secret more, kind of hide everything more. And I don't want them to give away like the secret. I don't want them to give away, I don't want them to spoil it for us. Because if Stu ends up coming back and if they show him in the trailer, I'm gonna lose my crap. Like, I'm not gonna wanna go see it in theaters at that point, because I'm already gonna know, who that Stu's gonna be in the film, and I want to go into the film being surprised. So that's basically like the worst thing that they could do is, I guess, like, spoil it for everyone and show, like, basically spoil it for everyone in the trailer. which I don't want to see that. Um, and then another thing is you guys already know is making Sydney the killer, which that's another worst thing that they could do. Which I don't think that they're gonna do that personally, but it's been a theory and something that people has been talking, like a lot of people has been talking about. Basically, a theory that they've had. A lot of videos that I've watched, a lot of people have theories about Sydney potentially being the Ghostface killer, which I talked about that last night. How I think it's just the dumbest theory ever, like the dumbest theory that I've ever heard. And the reason why is because she's the final girl, and when you're the final girl, all of a sudden you're gonna like. So Sydney has been basically the final girl this whole entire all in every film, right? Well, you mean to tell me that out of nowhere she's just gonna become evil and become like a killer? Like, I don't think that makes any sense. So that's the worst thing that they could do is make her like the Ghostface killer or something. Um, which I don't envision that happening. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not saying that it is, but there's a lot of people that have theories about her potentially being a ghostface killer. And there's a lot of people out there that actually like the idea, which is kind of crazy to think. Which people have a right, I guess, to like whatever they like, whatever they want. Um, but for me, I just can't, I can't deal with that, like, because she's the final girl, and you're basically ruining, her reputation. As you're ruining her character. I feel like so. That's the reason why I don't want to see that. That's the reason why I would much rather. That's the worst thing that they could do. Which I don't think that they're going to do that, but I'm just saying that's the worst thing that they could do. Um, and then another worst thing that they could possibly do is possibly make like Gale or something like the killer, which personally I don't want to see Gale as a killer because again she's another, she's too nice of a person to be a killer, you know. So you mean to tell me that she like all of a sudden is good, kind of like Sydney, and all of a sudden she just becomes evil somehow? Like I just don't see that. Which that's just another thing that I just don't see, that I don't want to see, that I don't want to see, just because she's more of a like a final, like she's like an OG character, you know. And there's a lot of people that want to see her as a killer. There's a lot of people that want to see her, be revealed as a killer, and her possibly, killing Dewey or something like that, which I don't think that's even possible. Um, you know, which those theories are just theories. People just come up with their own ideas, which I don't think that would make. I don't think that makes sense because again, Dewey got killed. I feel like by him, like I think he got killed by a man. So yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm just saying that that's the worst thing. The worst thing that they could do is obviously make Gale a killer. Um, oh man, guys, sorry about that. So yeah, that's the worst thing. Another worst thing they could do. I personally do not want to see her as a killer. I just don't. And I don't think necessarily that they're going to do that again, but it's just something to like that's the worst thing the worst thing that they could do. Um, Let me think of another thing that another worst thing that they could do. I would say maybe. Hmm, I'm just trying to think of another thing that could be like the worst that they could do. Which I think maybe if Mark Kincaid comes back, maybe like killing him, because I just don't feel like if Mark Kincaid comes back, I do not want to see them kill him. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to see him get killed or anything. I don't want them to kill him off or anything because I feel like you're just bringing him back just to kill him, as I was saying. So, which if he's going to be in the whole film, if he's going to be in the whole film, then that means that he's possibly going to be like involved again, like he's possibly going to be like trying to find the killer and whatnot. So, but the only thing that I do not want is for them to like kill him off or anything because again, you're just bringing him back just to kill him. So, I do not want to see that. I don't want to see him get killed off. I do not want to see that because I think Sydney deserves a happy ending for once, in my opinion. She's had too many like boyfriends get killed. Obviously Billy Loomis obviously turned out to be the killer. And obviously she had to, kill him or whatever. Or well, Gail did anyways, but and then obviously she had obviously her boyfriend Derek, he ended up getting killed. You know? So I feel like she deserves a happy ending for once. You know? I think she deserves a happy ending for once, so that's why I don't feel that they should kill Patrick Dempsey or Mark Kincaid. If Mark Kincaid comes back, which we don't know 100% if he is, but I really, really hope that he does. He's one of the characters I want to see. But anyways, yeah, I don't want to see him die. I don't want him to get killed in the opening scene. I don't want to see any of that. That's the worst thing that they could do. Um, but yeah, other than that, there's really nothing else that I really could think of right now. Maybe I could think of something else in here in a little bit, but as of right now, I don't have anything else. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get into like predictions, I guess. So, and we're basically just gonna theorize. So basically, I think that again, I don't know if 100%, but I do think that Mark Kincaid could come back, and also Joel, which the actor has already said that he wants to come back already. So there's definitely a possibility that that he could come back as well, along with Mark Kincaid. But I think that Sydney. I do think. Okay, this is just my prediction. All right, so I'm gonna go over who I think is gonna die. So I definitely think that Gail's gonna die 100%. All right. I think that she's gonna die in this film just because, in Scream 5, obviously she survived that film. Scream 6, she almost died, which I thought she did. I thought she was gonna die, 100%, and I actually had made a prediction that she would. And she almost did, but she ended up surviving. But now, I think that she's most definitely gonna die now, like just because she survived Scream 6 and Scream 5. Um, I think that she is gonna get killed off in this next film. I really do, man. And I don't want to say that. I don't want to like I want to keep her forever, but honestly, we're not going to be. That's just not the case. Like we're gonna have to move off of her, just like Sydney. You know, we're gonna have to move off of the old characters at some point. So that's just the way I look at it. Um, so that's the reason why I think that she's definitely gonna die in this film, 100%. Um, and I could be wrong. If I'm wrong again, I'll come on here and tell you, that I was wrong. But as of right now, that's just my prediction. I think that she is gonna die. Um, Now, another character that I think is gonna die is obviously Kirby. Now, a lot of people have a lot of theories about Kirby potentially being a Ghostface killer, which I don't necessarily think is going to happen. I don't think that they're going to do that personally. I don't think that they're going to do that personally. I think that she will die, though. I definitely think that she will. I think her and Gale are both going to die, honestly. That's just my opinion. Because if you think about it, obviously Kirby survived Scream 6. So what are the chances that she survives Scream 7? I really don't know. All I can say is that anyone could die. Anyone could die. You just don't know who. So that's just the mindset that I have. Kind of like what Amber said, talked about like high stakes or whatever. Everybody basically, nobody is really like promised to like survive, a Scream film. Like, everybody, like Gale could. I think that Kirby, I think Sydney could die, but I don't think she will, because the reason why I don't think that she will is because Neve Campbell has said that she wouldn't, that she won't, that she wasn't going to come back if they decided to kill her character off. So that's the reason why I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they're not killing Sydney off. I know that, because if they were going to do that, I don't think Neve Campbell would have, came back. She wouldn't have wanted to at that point. But I'm just saying, like Scream film, you're basically, you just don't know which character is going to die, which is a thing that I like about the Scream films, is that you just don't know. You just don't know what characters are going to die. You don't know what characters. You don't know who the killer is going to be. You basically can just make predictions and whatnot on who you think is going to like die, or like who you think is going to live. Which that's what that's why Scream is just so much fun, is because you could speculate and you could theorize about stuff. But yeah, I definitely think that Kirby's gonna die. I definitely think Gale's gonna die. I think that Mindy could possibly die, because I think that I had made a prediction that she was gonna die in Scream 6, but I don't think that obviously I was wrong about that. So I think that she could definitely die in this film. And then Chad, I mean Chad could definitely I think Chad's gonna be like your new like Dewey character. Like he seems like he's gonna be a new Dewey character because the way he survived Scream 5 and then Scream 6, taking like multiple like stabs, basically getting gutted, and still surviving, which adds seems like something like Dewey, like how Dewey would survive all those attacks. Um, so I definitely think that Chad's gonna be like the next like Dewey character. Um, who else did we got? So I think Kirby's gonna die. I think Gail's gonna die. Or maybe Kirby lives and survives, and then Gail dies, or Gail survives and Kirby dies. I don't know how it's gonna work. They may both die together. Um, and no, and if Gail does die, I do not want to see her die like on her TV show or anything like that. All right, I would much rather her die, possibly like saving like Sydney or something. You know, that's the way I want her to die. That's the way I wanted Dewey to die. I wanted Dewey to die saving Gale, because I felt like it meant a lot more. But so yeah, if Gale does get killed, I do not want to see her get killed on her TV show or anything like that. I would rather her, die like saving Sydney and the final act or whatever. That makes a lot more sense to me. Um, but then Kirby, like it's kind of difficult to predict, you know. Um, like Kirby is a character that I think that could survive, but also could die as well. So it's kind of difficult to kind of predict. But as of right now, I guess I'm going to say that she's gonna die, as I was just saying. Um, just because she obviously survived Scream 6. So who else did we got? So I said Chad, right? I said Chad and Mindy. So I think Mindy's gonna die 100%, and I think Chad's gonna survive still because Chad is gonna be again like your Dewey character. Um, so so yeah, Chad's gonna be your new Dewey character, and obviously Mindy's like a Randy type character. But I definitely think Mindy's gonna. If I had to choose if I had to choose between Chad or Mindy, I'm going with Mindy because I think Mindy was supposed to die in Scream 6. And I thought she was. I thought she legitimately was gonna die 100%. Um who else do we got? I think that's basically it right for now. Um that I could think of. And there's another. Oh, Martha Meeks. Now, I don't know if Martha Meeks is going to be in the film or anything like that, but I definitely do think that if she does come back, I definitely think she's gonna get like killed. By she's gonna get killed off 100%. Um, or maybe she gets like a phone call from the killer or something like that, like something. Because yeah, she's never gotten attacked by the killer before, and I think that there's a possibility that she could get attacked and possibly like killed. If of course she returns, which she has said that she wants to return. So um so yeah, I do think that this film is definitely going to be one of the best. Again, we still got to wait a little, still got a little ways to go until we get to see it, sadly, but it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait, you know. I just can't wait to see like when they release more news in terms of like the cast members, um, cast members, whatnot, like just new actors and whatnot, because we're definitely going to get more like news. But yeah, my theory, okay, we're going to talk about Stu, of course. Now, as y'all know, Stu is supposed to return in Scream 3, but the combine shooting happened, so he wasn't able to. Um, well, yeah, it was because of the combine shooting. So he was supposed to return, but sadly, the combine shooting, prevented, like, had something to do with them changing their idea, like changing everything. So, um, but yeah, I'm really thinking that I really do believe, guys, like in my heart that, and I'm not saying 100% that Stu is coming back or anything, but I just kind of feel it. I have a gut feeling. My gut tells me that he is coming back with everything that we've gotten, all the clues, all the Easter eggs in Scream 6 and 5, which I'm not saying 100%, but that's the way it seems. That's the way it seems. Um, and I really do hope that he does, you know, because I don't think if he does not return in this film, I don't think he's going to return at all. That's just my opinion. A lot of people may disagree with that, but I don't think that he's going to return at all if he doesn't return in this film, because I think this is like the best time, the best like opportunity to do it, you know? And I don't think that they're going to do it in the future, because if you don't have Sydney, in the film, well, I don't think that would make sense to bring him back without Sydney. So that's the reason why I don't think they're going to bring him back in the future. Um, but they could definitely bring him back in a TV series. But again, a TV series doesn't really mean as much as a real film. So I think it means a lot more if he comes back in a real film, Um But yeah, I definitely don't think that. I think this is the best time to do it, man. They basically laid down, gave us a whole bunch of Easter eggs and whatnot. That basically it goes perfectly with his return. You know, I just really hope that they do it. And it looks like, and it seems like we're getting like a cult too, which that's another thing that gets me excited. That we're getting a cult too, so possibly, which I definitely think that we are getting a cult because there's been multiple ghost faces. Of course, Scream 6, we had three killers, and obviously Scream 5 had two, but Scream 6 had like the most killers. Um, and then obviously there's going to be more in this film. And if it isn't Stu that killed Dewey, if it wasn't Stu, that attacked Tara and whatnot, well, it's definitely going to be someone related, possibly somebody related to him. Like, let's say, like, um, his sister. What's his sister's name? I forgot. I remember her name. Like, it's. 1 minute. Leslie Mocker, right? Which a lot of people are predicting that as well. That Leslie Mocker could come back, and somehow be a killer and basically get revenge, like on Sydney for Sue's death. Which I think that's another thing that could be possible as well. But and these are just, of course, like speculations and like theories. So Leslie Mocker, of course, we don't know who she is. All we know is that she's the sister of Stu. That's really all that we know. Um, Other than that, we don't know like who she is, like what she does, like where she is now, um, and we do know that she is the daughter, or she is the mother of what's his name? I forget his name now too. Like, it's Stu's nephew on from Scream 5. I can't believe I keep on forgetting. I know his last name is Mocker. Um, oh, Vince. Yeah, Vince. I think Leslie is her. I think Leslie is his mother. So yeah, that's basically why I definitely think that that's another possible like scenario where we get Leslie Mocker or somebody related to Billy Loomis, which that's another possibility. But I think the Leslie Mocker thing, and this is only if we don't get Stu. What's to say we don't get Stu at all? Well, I definitely think that we're definitely getting, somebody possibly related to him, like, like Leslie Mocker, as I was saying, or maybe somebody like, maybe he's got like a secret, like son or something like that out there, which that we don't know about. But, and this is only if he doesn't return, of course. Those are basically like scenarios something that I could see. Um, oh, how's it going, Scott Walker? I think Scream 7 is going to be a two-part, trying to figure out who the killer is in part 1. In part 2, that's when Sydney finally figures out who the killer is. But she doesn't want to believe it's Sue. Yep. Yep, Leslie. Yep, Leslie Mocker. Do you think they'll find somebody to play Stu's parents in 7? That's very, very interesting because we don't know who his parents are and who and where like what they're doing, you know? And that's another thing. Will we see his parents? And that brings me back to another like point. Like, are they gonna do something to where like they bring back maybe like his mother or something like that, or somebody like related to him? I don't know. And this is only if they don't bring him back. Like if they don't bring Stu back. Well, is it a possibility that they bring, get somebody like related to him or whatever, like Leslie, maybe his mom or something, somebody that we don't know, because we don't know like where, like what his parents are doing. That's just we don't know anything about that. I don't understand what you said. Well, as I was saying, I just don't really like. I just don't think that they should change the robe because I think it looks better black. The black color, the black robe is iconic. I don't think they need to change it to any different color. That's just my opinion, personally. But anyways, so we're gonna go back to what I was saying though. Like, are they gonna bring back Leslie, or are they gonna bring? Because they're bringing back. If Stu doesn't come back, it's definitely gonna be somebody related to him, and obviously Vince, right? Vince Mocker, his mother is Leslie. So, but yeah, a lot of people had their own theories, like about like Leslie Mocker, which I think that's very interesting. It's definitely something that we could get if we don't get Stu. Now, I wouldn't mind if like both of them like ended up being killers like together, which that would be interesting as well. How can Matthew Lillard do Scream 7 on Friday night at the same time? Beast returned for 7. How can you do that? They felt the same. That's very interesting. I do not know. And that's another thing that kind of is a little concerning too, that he's obviously doing other films that, he's doing like another film, as you were saying. So basically that would mean that he's doing both. If he's in Scream 7, well, that means that he's possibly doing both somehow. Like, which I don't know how that works. But yeah, it's a very interesting theory, and a lot of people have a lot of theories about, Billy Loomis, somebody related to him, you know. Well, we don't really know anything else about like Hank, like where he is, um, which I don't think that he's gonna return now, obviously because Melissa Barrera is not in the film no more. Obviously, getting fired from the film, so I don't think that we're gonna get anyone else related to Billy Loomis, but like I always ask, like whatever happened to Hank Loomis? You know, I know he's still alive. I know that he didn't die or anything. Um, but I've always wondered, like what happened to him, like what he's doing, you know. And he's a character I would like to see back as well. But obviously now it doesn't really make too much sense because you fired Melissa Barrera, so it doesn't really make too much sense, in my opinion. And Billy or Hank Loomis is, I don't think that he's going to be a killer or anything, but I do think that I think he's going to be like a here, kind of like a person that basically motivates people, you know. So basically, if like Sam were to be like, if she ended up being a killer, well, he'd basically like give her like he would like he would like basically give her like a talk about going down that road. He wouldn't yeah, he wouldn't like her, her going down that road, like being a killer. It's like he didn't like Billy Loomis going down that road, going down that path, Just say that Ghostface calls surrounded Sydney's house life and in the front yard, side of the house, in the background. The backyard. What do you think the scene for the cult? I would actually like that a lot. That would be interesting as well. Does anything involving like the cult, And I'm not saying like have like a cult, like meaning that nothing like ceremonial or nothing. Like I don't want to see nothing like that. I just want to see like a cult, you know. Um, what do you think of the video game Dead by Daylight? Ghostface and Michael Myers are in the game. Yep, I played Dead by Daylight. Dead by Daylight is actually a fun game. Um, it's definitely a fun game. I used to play it a lot. Obviously, I don't no more, but I did play that game a lot. And obviously, they added some new skins. They added a Child's Play skin. Um, and yeah, Dead by Daylight is definitely a fun game. But yeah, that Ghostface skin. What they need to do is that they need to add like Sydney because they have Laurie Strode. They have Laurie Strode, but they don't have Sydney. They have Ghostface. They have the Ghostface in the game, but that'd be cool if they added like the Sydney character. They somehow added Sydney or something like along with like Laurie Strode. Because Laurie Strode, they put her in the game. That'd be cool if they put Sydney in the game as well. Like, just maybe she could have like a partner, maybe like Dewey or something. I haven't played it yet. How do I get Ghostface? I'm planning to play it pretty soon. Can you give me advice how to play it? How to get Ghostface? Well, obviously you would have to get the DLC, um, and get Ghostface from there. Um, you'd have to get like the DLC pack, and yeah, that's basically how you do it. I would love to see a Scream video game one day. Do you think that all the cast from the movies will be interested in doing the final level? Will be Stu's house in the final. Oh, that would be awesome. They should definitely do a. I've been talking about them doing a Scream game for a while. Like, I've been wanting them to do that for a while, just because there's just so many things that you could do. Like, you could add like the Who Done It factor. You could add all that to the game. Being able to take off like being able to put on the costume, taking it off, putting it back on, stuff like that. That's why I think the idea that sounds so fun right now. Like, and I actually heard rumors about them making a Scream game, and I think it's like an indie company or something like that. It's supposedly making a Scream game, but of course, it's just a rumor at this point. There's no really like news about it yet. Um, oh, I'd love to see a Scooby Doo Scream movie crossover. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like that idea personally, but but yeah. So that would be cool. Like in the lead up to Scream 7, we get like a video game. Like, because that was, as I was saying, a Scream video game is something that I've been wanting for a while now. Like, because again, there's just so many things that you can do. You could add the whodunit factor. You could make it to where like the killer can put the costume on, take it off, whenever he wants. You know, stuff like that. I hope the next song they do in her convention over here, Australia, Comic Con, I get to meet the screen characters. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah, they definitely. That would be awesome to meet them. Um, yeah, I've heard a lot of people say they're pretty nice. So do you think that Matthew Lillard or do you think Matthew Lillard, Nev, and Skeet and Jamie, do you think they'll be interested in doing screen video? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I will tell you this though. I do think that David Arquette would be willing to do the video game because obviously, he was in the video game called Query. So I'm pretty sure that he would want to do anything like voiceovers, whatever. Like if they decided to, make a game, which I really hope so. I really hope that they do decide to do that because I just think there's just so many things that you can do, you know? There's something about the movie actors and understand that and they really know people in real life. But when they play villains, they're gonna know. Oh, yep, for sure. Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, so obviously, Scream Seven is going to be definitely an interesting film. I think. Now there has been rumors about like Parker Posey potentially coming back, which I think that's a possibility too, because obviously she wants to come back. So basically, which I've never really heard a theory about her possibly like surviving like a gunshot, but I think that she survived. She possibly survived the gunshot in Scream Three. Um, Obviously, because if she wants to come back, well, then that means that she feels like her character didn't die. So, and same with Emma Roberts, which the Emma Roberts thing is kind of like I just feel kind of like 50-50 on it. Like I don't really think that they're gonna do it, but then again, it's very possible that they could. Um, but I was thinking that if they did, it would be just like a dream sequence or something. Like, but other than that, I don't think it's gonna be anything like major. Like, I don't think it's gonna be anything like. But hey, again, if she does end up coming back with say with Stu or something, hey, I'd be willing. I'm gonna come on here and tell you guys like that I was wrong, you know. But until I see it, I'm not gonna believe it right now. Like, I just don't really see any real. Like, I don't really see. I don't know. I just don't see it. You know, there's just so many things that just doesn't really make that much sense. Like the fact that she survived, paddles to the head, which I don't think that's possible. You know, um, I don't think that's possible at all because again, she'd be brain dead and her brain wouldn't be able to function right. So you know that there are Scream ambulance videos with, and there is one with City's House with the sunset creepy music. Check it out when you get a chance. It's pretty good. Oh, are you talking about? What's the video called? What would be better if Ghostface was stalking Sydney on a train or a plane when she's on with her family and friends? Uh, I definitely think that probably like a plane or maybe like, yeah, probably a plane would make a lot. I think that would be. I think that would be a lot better personally. But yeah, so I mean, my theory is that this film was going to take place. So I had said that I think that this film should take place like one half be in Woodsboro and then the other half in Hollywood, which basically you're in two locations. You're not in one town or one city or whatever. Um, I just think that that's like a great, like a genius idea. Like just to have the film be like half and half. So one half in Hollywood, the other half in Woodsboro. Like, which I do think that that's something that's something new. Um, which I would take anything like that. I would take anything like new. Because I feel like the Scream films have been kind of like the same, and in a way, like okay, like Scream 6, they kind of changed a lot, a lot of stuff, which I liked, but I want to see my more creative kills. I want to see more, just overall, just creativeness. Like I want to see a Ghostface kill someone with, with a hammer or something. Something like that. Because we have not seen Ghostface kill anybody like with any other weapon other than the buck knife. So that's why I think it makes a lot. I think that's why it would be interesting to see him kill someone with like a hammer or with like a screwdriver or something like that. And have him like use like different weapons. Because I personally don't think Ghostface has to just have the buck knife. I think it makes a lot more sense that um I definitely think that makes like have okay. The buck knife, of course, is like his primary like weapon. You know, that's Ghostface's like primary weapon. But there's no. I don't think that there's anything wrong with changing it up too. Like maybe like him like killing somebody, like I was saying, like with a hammer, with like a wrench, like even like a wrench or something. Like just something creative. Although we did see him shoot somebody with a shotgun. So we did see him kill someone with the shotgun. So that is something, I guess, something new. But I want more. I want more of that. I want to see like different weapons as well. Not just like the gun thing, the shotgun, that was cool. I enjoyed it personally because he just wasn't, he wasn't using just the knife. He was using the gun too, which I thought that was pretty cool. Alien World does the name of the YouTube screen 1996. Check it out when you get a chance. Okay, yeah, I definitely will try to check it out for sure. But yeah, I just want to see overall just creativeness. I want to see him, even if he grabbed like a pair of like scissors or something like, or maybe if it's like Ghostface in the snow or something, and he grabs like an icicle or something, or he kills somebody with like a candy cane, like on Christmas or something like that. Like, I mean, something like creative. I want to see something like creative. Because again, we have not seen anything like that. Okay, he used a shotgun, which I thought was really cool. But I want to see what. Let's just say that he like ended up using like a machine gun or something. Now that would be even more brutal. Like he just started shooting somebody. Like, hey, that would be something new. I mean, I'd like to see new stuff. Now, a lot of people may say that that's a little bit like too cheesy in a way, but honestly, I think it's something new, and we want to see more creativeness. We want to see him use other weapons. in Scream 2 when Sydney Dermot Halley was killed when Ghostface sees Sydney and runs after and stops. If you look very closely in the mask, it's a woman. I think it was. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, 100%. But the only thing is that I don't think that she killed like Randy though. That's the only thing. That's the only part that I feel like is unrealistic. Because you mean to tell me that a girl is gonna be able to throw around a man like that? Like no, I don't think that's realistic. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. They do a Scream setting in Scream 7. Just say Ghostface wears a Santa costume. Yep, that's what I was just saying. Like if they do something to where they do like a go like a Scream film that takes place on Christmas or something, and basically Ghostface wears like a Santa hat or something, or Ghostface wears a like a Santa outfit, and maybe like has like a candy cane as his weapon or something. Like that would be hilarious. He just kills somebody with the candy cane while wearing the Santa hat. Like that would be hilarious. I do think it was Stu that killed Randy. That killed Randy. Yup. So, do you think that Stu killed Randy? Oh, yeah, I do too. I think there's a possibility of that because um, I don't think Miss Loomis is going to be able to manhandle a man like that. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. I don't believe that a girl is going to be able to manhandle a man like that, you know? That's just unrealistic. So I definitely think it's very possible that Stu was the one that ended him, you know? I definitely think that's possible. It's definitely something that I don't think anybody really like looks into that enough. Like people just say, well, okay, it was Miss Loomis that killed him, but what if it was somebody else? What if it was like I was saying, like Stu? That's a possibility. There's definitely a possibility. Sorry, my fiance is watching Mamma Mia 1. Absolutely love this movie. He's watching it. No, oh no, you're good. Yeah, you're good, man. You're good. But yeah, so I just want to see more creativeness. You know, I want to see Ghostface kill somebody with a robe or with the robe, uh, with a hammer, with a wrench, um, with an like maybe like a machete or something, or maybe like a reaper. That I forget what they call that long weapon. Uh, it's basically like a Reaper kind of thing. I forget what they call it. Um, but I think it was. I think that was like Ghostface's original like weapon. Uh, yeah, it's basically like a Grim Reaper weapon. Um, but I don't know how to pronounce the name of it though. That's the only thing. I forget the name of it, but it was supposed to be Ghostface's original weapon. Um, Originally, anyways. So it was supposed to be, I guess, like a Reaper weapon or something. Like it was basically gonna be like a long stick with like a like I don't know what it's called though. Like that's the only thing. Um, because yeah, it was supposed to be Ghostface's original weapon. That's what they were gonna go with before they decided to use the have him use the buck knife or whatever. But I forget. Oh, scythe. It's a scythe. That's what it is. It's basically like a scythe, and it's basically like a Reaper weapon. I call it a Grim Reaper. I call it like the Reaper weapon because it's basically what it is. Um, it's obviously basically made for like the Grim Reaper. Um, but you know what I mean. So that was supposed to be Ghostface's original weapon. He was supposed to have like that was gonna be like his original weapon, supposedly. How cool would it be if Ghostface used a hard project kill everyone instead of a knife? Oh, that would be awesome. That like I was saying, that would be something new, you know, 100%. Or even like kill somebody with like a bone arrow or something, or kill somebody with a machine gun, like an AK-47 or a scorpion gun. That would be insane. Like, because he's already used a shotgun, but I would like to see him use like a machine gun. AK-47. Somebody said on a live stream ages ago, but Ghostface was a whaler. Huh. That's that's interesting. But yeah, Ghostface had, there was a lot of original ideas. Ghostface was supposed to have a Reaper weapon, which that's something that's just kind of, it kind of fitted, fit his like outfit, whatnot. Um, but I guess they didn't like that idea, so they decided to have him use the buck knife instead, which the buck knife is iconic, but that long stick or whatever, that Reaper weapon, as I was saying, I felt like that would have been more like brutal. Um, but yeah, the buck knife, of course, is always going to be iconic for. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's very interesting to see, you know, that you go back and you look at all the stuff that they were ideas that they had, before, like in terms of like the mask and in terms of like the weapon and whatnot, which that's pretty interesting. Like the Reaper weapon, though, that I think that weapon would have been like the best, like for him, because it seemed like it fit like his robe. It fits his mask a lot, but not taking anything away from the buck knife, because the buck knife is always going to be iconic. So, but of course, that's just my It's just very interesting to see that there's a lot of people that you go back and you watch like videos of like original ideas and whatnot, like people thinking of original ideas, that are, you go back and you look at ideas that they had originally, like the Scream films were going to be named before they came up with the name Scream. It was actually going to be Scary Movie at first, but then they decided to change it to Scream. But yeah, it was originally going to be called Scary Movie. Like the franchise was supposed to be, it was going to be called Scary Movie. Um, but they thought Scream sounded better because obviously I think it sounds a lot better as well, just because the name of it just sounds, just the way the mask looks, it looks like the mask is like, is screaming, you know. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Although it would have been interesting to see like what if they would have kept the name, Scary Movie, like. How come everybody else goes to these horror conventions instead of Courtney Cox? I don't know what Nevin. See, how can I go to? But Courtney Cox doesn't. That's very interesting. I have no idea. Maybe it's just something that she doesn't want to do. Like, I don't know. I heard that Courtney Cox is like a kind of like a private person, I guess. Like, she doesn't really like to do like social stuff, I guess. That's what I've heard, anyways. So maybe that could be like why she doesn't do that stuff. Maybe because she feels uncomfortable because David goes to them because ex boyfriend, yeah, ex husband and ex wife made, and then I feel comfortable with. Yeah, you're right though. Yeah, because it's actually crazy that they actually were dating each other in real life, which it's crazy that Scream they weren't together when Scream 1996 was made. So, but when they were basically in a relationship in Scream, they became boyfriend and girlfriend in real life. They became, husband and wife. Like they actually got together, like in real life, which is crazy. So basically, like, Scream like inspired them, I guess, to get together in real life, which is they were together in Scream and they're also together in real life, which is interesting, crazy. Alrighty, Scott Walker, thank you for popping in, man. Uh, be sure to look out for the stream later on tonight at 9:30. Um, well, obviously, it's going to be daylight at your house where you live. probably going to be like in the morning where you live in Australia. But yeah, be sure to look out for that. Obviously, the Friday the 13th and TV series talk, obviously, at 9:30 tonight. So be sure to look out for that. But have a great night, man. Get some rest. Thank you for popping in. But yeah, it's very interesting, like how Scream works. You know, like how like it's crazy that you look back and you look at other ideas. You look at ideas that they had originally. Um, but anyways, going back to the relationship thing, like so yeah, that a Scream actually inspired David Arquette and Courtney Cox to get together in real life. And then I don't know if you knew, like I don't know if any of you knew as well, but Matthew Lillard and Nev Campbell were actually together in real life as well, which is interesting. They were actually together. Well, so basically, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny because in Scream 1996, Billy Loomis is in a relationship with Sydney, but in real life, like during that time, Matthew Lillard was actually in a relationship with her in real life when that film was like released, which is crazy, crazy to think about. So yeah, they were in a relationship with each other for a while. But yeah, it's definitely pretty interesting. Like how everything just played out. Like it was kind of like weird. So and Matthew Lillard is actually, which is crazy that he was really dating Nev Campbell. Like then obviously David Arquette and Courtney Cox obviously were together as well. But yeah, I don't know. This kind of thought it was kind of funny because Billy Loomis in Scream 1996 was in a relationship with Sydney or with Nev Campbell. Uh, obviously in the film. but in real life it was the opposite. Like, so I just think that was kind of funny. But yeah, Matthew Lillard is actually from Lansing. He's from Lansing, Michigan. So, and that's obviously only like 2 hours from here, from where I live. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of interesting stuff there. Man, it just sucks that it just kind of sucks that movies nowadays ain't the same, you know? Like I'm just being honest with you, like the older Scream films, like the newer Scream films are not going to ever be better than the originals, like the older ones. And now I'm always going to stand by that. And the reason why I say that is because, Wes Craven always did a good job, and obviously when people sit there and say, okay, like when people say that Scream 5 is better than Scream 3, that I have a problem with that. Like movies nowadays are just not as good. Like nowadays there's just not they're not like there's no creativity anymore. Um Everything's just basically like rushed, you know, which is kind of like the main issue with movies nowadays is that everything is just rushed. And that's why movies end up being bad is because they try to rush it. They want to they want to finish it, and that's why they end up being so bad, you know, because they try to rush it they try to go like too fast with it, like instead of taking their time, which that's why I feel like a lot of movies today are just not as they're just not as creative as they used to be, I don't think. And of course, the new Scream films, of course I'm gonna go watch it because it's a Scream film. And I'm a diehard Scream fan, so I had to go watch it regardless if it's, bad or not. But you know what I'm saying? Like movies today are just not as creative as they used to be. Like it's just kind of crazy. Like everybody always gets like ripped off of their money, like actors, you know. Uh Movies get like rushed. They put like stupid characters in certain films, that shouldn't be in the film, which is kind of annoying. That's the most annoying part. Like movies just ain't the same, especially like the Scream films. And I'm being honest with you guys. Like I don't think the Scream films have been the same since probably since Scream 4. Like to be honest. But I'm always gonna watch them. I'm always gonna watch it because it is a Scream film, and again, I'm a diehard Scream fan, so I have to watch it. But the problem is that there's just no creativity no more. You know, there's just no creativity. People keep on rehashing the same old things over and over and over again, and they don't want to basically change nothing. It's just basically the same old stuff every time, every time. Um, I feel like most of the time, anyways. So I just don't really think that movies today are especially this in any film, Halloween as well. It's Friday the 13th. I mean, kind of, because even though we haven't had a Friday the 13th since 2009, um, but I'm kind of worried about the TV series, which we'll get into that later tonight. You know, but anyways, yeah, so movies in general, like the Scream films are just not as creative, and I really hope that Scream 7, I hope that they bring more creativity to it. Like, I hope they add more creative kills. I hope they have better just overall development, character development, good character development. Um, which okay, like Scream 6 did a good job. I think it did better than Scream 5, but it still wasn't perfect. It still had a lot of issues. Which I'm not saying that it was totally trash or anything, but I'm just saying that every movie, Scream 6 was not. I don't think it was as bad as Scream 5. I think Scream 5 was definitely a lot worse. And the reason is because there was no chase scenes. Overall, just bad, character development. Um, which is crazy because Scream, you would think that they would add chase scenes, because obviously it's a Scream film, and that's what they're mostly like. That's what the character is basically known for, is chasing people. Um, so and also is a tribute to Wes Craven too, which that's another thing that I had a problem with. That it was basically a tribute to Wes Craven, and they didn't want to add. They didn't add chase scenes or anything like that. So that's the one thing that they should have. They should have done. I don't understand how you could be a fan of the Scream films and not add any chase scenes. I just don't really understand that. I'll never understand that. I don't understand how you could be a fan of the Scream franchise if you don't add chase scenes into the film. I just don't really get that. Now, the character development, that was absolute disaster. They just didn't. There wasn't enough development. I don't feel like. And I'm not saying Scream 5 is totally trash. Again, I just don't think it's a great it's definitely a film that I can't go back and rewatch, you know? especially compared to Wes Craven's films. Wes Craven's films, they just had the creativity, the good character development, great chase scenes, great moments, you know, and that's what made his film so like that's why they were so like rewatchable. They had so much rewatchability because they had those moments, chase scenes, character development. Um, they're just overall just more creative. I feel like, even though yeah, like all like 1 through 4, Scream 1 through 4 are basically like kind of similar in a way because obviously Ghostface they didn't really change much, but still, it was about like the chase scenes is what made those films great, you know, especially like Scream 1996, Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4. Scream 3 had one of the best chase scenes, I think, but Scream 4, I think Scream 4 did as well, but Scream 5 just didn't, they didn't add any of that, they didn't add any chase scenes or anything. So it was just disappointing. But then Scream 6, of course, they kind of like fixed that, which it was nice. It was good to see. So I just want to see more of it. I want to see more creativity. I want to see more just better character development, and I just want to see overall just more creativeness. And Scream 7, I just want to see more creativity. I want to see I just want to see like new stuff. I want to see something creative. Like creative chase scenes, creative kills. Those are the things that I want to see. Um, and I want to see, Ghostface, as I was saying, kill somebody, with a hammer, doing something creative. Doing something creative. It does not have to be nothing like too crazy. Like you don't have to make it like too like graphic or anything, but just do it. I just want to see something new, like Ghostface using the machine gun, as I was saying. That would be absolutely insane because obviously he's used the shotgun. As you guys know, he's used the shotgun before, and I mean the shotgun really isn't that. I mean that was pretty brutal, but I think the machine gun would be even more brutal. Like like an AK-47 or something, like just shoots somebody like to death. And something like that would be again. That's creativeness there. You're basically changing some. You're changing. You're not necessarily changing his weapon, but you're making the kills more creative. you know. But yeah, I don't know. Like movies today are just not as good, you know. And I hate to say that, but when I was a kid and growing up in the 2000s, horror movies and movies in general were just so much better because again they took their time on it, you know, on films. But nowadays it's just like everything is like everybody wants to rush everything, you know, and that's basically the main issue that I have with films right now today. Like they're really not as like creative. I don't feel like as they used to be. Um, and same with video games. You know, video games are not the same either. Like the video games are just have gotten worse when you think that they should have got, you know, that they should be better, you know, especially with all the new technology that we have, you know. It's just crazy that movies all of a sudden are worse, but we have a lot more technology now. So you think they would be a lot better. But that goes back to what I was saying about, you know, these young filmmakers, you know, if they can keep on doing that, doing what they're doing, if they can keep on, you know, doing what they're doing, hey, I'm okay with it. You know, if that's what we're gonna get most of the time, hey, I'll take that. You know, I'll absolutely take that. But yeah, sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm just kind of looking at my comments here. But yeah, sorry, I'm on my phone. I'm just looking at my. I was just watching myself there for a minute, but yeah, it's just like there's just no creativity today. You know, it's just like everything is just so rushed. Like everyone just wants to rush everything. You know, instead of taking their time with it. That to me is like the main issue with movies today and just video games. You know, it's just like everything is just so rushed, and then there's no creativity. They don't think of new ideas a lot of the times. You know, it's just it's just sad to see. But hopefully, Scream Seven, you know, delivers. I hope it does. Hope it's like the best sequel, you know, out there because or trilogy if you want to call it a trilogy. But I hope that it is a one of the best trilogies out there because it just seems like we're getting something big. It seems like obviously with Kevin Williamson, returning, seems like we're gonna get something more creative, and we're gonna the story. I already know the story is gonna be really good. Um, but I just really hope it. I hope it's a good film. I just hope there's not gonna be anything like kind of like how a Radio Silence kind of film. Like I hope it's not gonna be like that. But which I didn't mind Radio Silence. I just felt like they should have did a lot more. Like I felt like they didn't really understand like Scream. That was like the only issue. The only issue that I had with Radio Silence is that they just didn't really like. I don't know. They just didn't really have good creativity. They didn't really. Didn't seem like they understood. They didn't. It seemed like they didn't know Scream that well. You know. Um, which is crazy because you would think that they would know, like, if they were supposedly like fans of the franchise, you would think that they would have added like the chase scenes, as I was saying, in Scream 5. But anyways, but yeah, that's I mean, you can't really do nothing about that, I guess. But yeah, I really do hope that Scream 7, is good. I really do hope so. I think it is going to be really good. I really do. I think it is going to be one of the best sequels or trilogies out there. You know, because now that Kevin Williamson is writing it, I already know it's gonna be a great film. 100%, man. I like, but it does suck without Melissa Barrera and whatnot, like Melissa Barrera and obviously Jenna Ortega. Like it sucks that they're not going to be in the film, but I don't know. I'm not going to get into politics about the whole Melissa Barrera thing. But the only thing that I had to say is I think that was kind of like wrong, to like to fire her over that, especially if she deleted the post. But anyways, I'm not going to get into politics on here because that's not what I do. But it's just unfortunate. Same with Jenna Ortega not being in the film. It's unfortunate, that they're not going to be in the film because I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be weird without them. It's definitely going to be weird without him, you know. Um, and I definitely think as well that I think that Sydney though is gonna. I think Sydney's gonna be more of a distraction though, so we won't really like realize. We won't really like realize, that Sydney or that you know Sam and or Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega won't be in the film. It's gonna be like it's gonna remind me of like Wes Craven's films, like because we're not gonna have like the new. Well, we're gonna have Chad and Mindy, I'm pretty sure, but it's gonna be back. The main focus is gonna be back on Sydney, so it's gonna be like the old. It's gonna remind me a lot of Wes Craven's films. But yeah, the whole Stu thing is just very interesting. I really hope that it does happen, and I do think that he killed Dewey. I really do. I think he was the one that killed, or I think he's the one that attacked Tara personally in Scream 5. Shoot, I even think he could have been in Scream 3. You know, but I do think that there is going to be like a cult. Now, I don't know who's going to be like his partner or anything like that. Like if he does come back, a lot of people are saying that Leslie Mocker. I think Leslie Mocker is more than likely going to be like the killer that comes back, or the killer if Stu doesn't end up if Stu is not in the film if they don't bring him back. Um, but I don't think like a lot of people keep on like bringing up like Charlie Walker and whatnot, which I don't think Charlie Walker is going to be coming back personally, just because I don't know. I just feel like he got stabbed in the heart. I don't feel like I don't feel like he survived that personally, but I mean, hey, there has been a lot of people, I guess, that has survived, wounds like that, especially getting stabbed in the chest. So, I mean, I guess that's very possible, but at the same time, I really don't want to like. I'm not trying to bash Charlie, but I just don't feel like it makes sense. If you know what I mean. Like, and I didn't care for Charlie or anything, but just because I don't care for Charlie doesn't really mean that's not why I'm saying that. It's because I'm trying to be realistic as much as possible. Like I just don't think that he's gonna come back. Like I really don't. I think it's just too unrealistic, and a lot of people will sit there and tell you that him and Jill are gonna be back, but I don't believe it. You know, um, unless they're doing it kind of like a cult thing, where like Stu has a cult, and then all of a sudden they're all a part of his cult or something like that. I mean, I could totally see something like that to where maybe like Jill, maybe like Charlie, they're all just in the cult, in a cult with them with Stu. Like that would be pretty interesting, but I don't think it's realistic. I don't think that Charlie should like. I don't think that he. I don't know. I just don't feel like he would survive. I don't think that he survived the stab to the heart. Personally, it's just unrealistic. I feel like it's unrealistic, but that's just me, of course. And a lot of people have their own theories about him coming back, but I just don't feel like he survived. I think the only character that should come back is Stu. I don't think any other character should come back unless they do something to like to where they he's like has like a cult or something, which I think is very possible. Um, but yeah, because if they do something like with a cult, I think that would make a lot like. I mean, I wouldn't mind it because it would be like a cult kind of thing. Um, but a lot of people seem to think that like I don't know, like everyone has their own theories about certain stuff. Like I think that Angelina could come back, and that I think that she could be alive. And I truly believe that because her name wasn't on the official kill list. So I feel like she definitely could have survived, Scream 3. Um, definitely could have faked her death because, again, her name wasn't on the official kill list. So, and there could be like a reason for that, like why her name wasn't on there. Um, and she's a character. If I had to choose between Angelina or Charlie, I think I'm gonna go with Angelina, like in terms of like realism, because I think Angelina just makes a lot more sense, to come back. Personally, I mean, her name wasn't even on the again. Her name wasn't on the official kill list, so there has to be something to that. Like, I mean, there has to be. There has to be something to it, you know. But yeah, I guess we'll have to see. Which I don't think Angelina is going to come back necessarily. The reason why I don't think so at this point is because I feel like it's probably too late in the game. But I still want her. I still want to see her. I mean, rather if she's a killer or rather if she's just a random character, just walking around. You know, I really don't mind either way. I think it would be cool to see if she was like just like a regular character or something. She's just a regular character and she is basically walking around. Like she doesn't have to be like a Ghostface killer necessarily, but she could be in the film and be like, herself, like be a regular character and just like kind of like walk around and whatnot. And but yeah, Angelina's death to me was just very suspicious. Um, so I do think that she could be alive. I definitely do. 100%. I think that she could be alive. I definitely think it's possible. 100%. And I'm not saying that she is going to come back, or which I really I would like that. If I was a director of the film, I would write that in there. I would bring her back 100% because I feel like I felt like I don't know. I just feel like that she's alive. I feel that she's still alive with all the clues, all the evidence that we got. Um, Not on the official kill list, which that's another suspicion there. Like why was her name not on the official kill list? That's the main question that everybody, I guess, has been wondering. Like why is her name not on there? Like, well, there could be a reason for that. Could be a legit reason for that. Like, so that's the reason why I think that she's alive. Personally, that's why I think that she is still alive, and it's definitely a possibility. If you know what I mean. Um, but yeah, guys, I'm definitely gonna probably hop off of here for now. Um, I have been going for, I've been going for a couple hours, going on 3 hours now, which you know I am gonna be doing my 9:30 stream, obviously later on tonight, as you guys know. Um, Obviously Friday the 13th franchise talk, and also I'm going to be talking about the TV series, of course, tonight at 9:30. Um, it should definitely be a lot of fun. It will definitely be talking about obviously the TV series and whatnot, and the franchise as a whole. So Friday the 13th franchise and TV series stream um, should be a lot of fun. But anyways, y'all, I think I'm gonna call it right here. Be sure to look out for my stream later on tonight at 9:30, and be sure to again hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as always. And yeah, sorry guys, I know I haven't been on like for that long. I mean, I've been on for a few hours, but I know I haven't been on all that long. Um, Obviously because it is like noon, but definitely be on the lookout for my stream later on, of course, at 9:30. Um, so I am doing another stream, as you guys know. Should be a lot of fun, but yeah, I do think that I'm gonna call it here, guys. Again, be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as always, if you will. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna go a little longer. How about it? Let's just go a little bit longer. Go for another, maybe like another hour or so, and then I'm probably gonna call it. But um, so yeah, I'm gonna go a little bit longer. But yeah, it definitely should be a lot of fun. You know, the Scream 7 should definitely deliver. You know, there's a lot of things, of course, that I'm worried about. You know, of course, about like the new directors and whatnot. But I am confident, you know, that Kevin Williamson is gonna do a good job. You know, that's I'm the most I'm so confident, you know, that this film is gonna be really good under him. Like he's gonna, you know, write a good story. But there's a lot of concern with this film, and I understand. You know, I have a lot of concerns as well. Kind of like with Scream 6 and 5. Scream 6 and 5 are just like, as I was saying, Scream 6 is a little better, but still had a lot of issues. Um, and you just don't really know what to expect with these new directors. But yeah, sorry guys, I just don't, I just don't know what really to say right now. But yeah, so it's definitely going to be pretty interesting. I think definitely going to be one of the best trilogy sequels out there. Um, that's just my opinion, anyways. But we'll see. Um, But yeah, it's definitely. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of daydreaming a little bit, but um, I think I am gonna actually call the stream here. Stop it here. I mean, I have been going for at least a couple hours. I mean, that's not like bad. That's not. That's pretty long, but um, I think I'm gonna probably call it here for now. Of course, as you guys know, be sure to. I know I just said that I was gonna go a little bit longer, another hour, but um, actually, you know what? I think I might stay on just a little bit longer. Just, I mean, I don't think it's gonna really hurt to stay on a little bit longer. I guess maybe until like 3:30 or something, and then get off. Call it. But I just can't make up really my mind. I keep saying I want to end it, but then gonna stay a little longer. Um, but yeah, it's definitely pretty interesting. You know, the Scream franchise as a whole is pretty good. I think Wes Craven's films though are just better than Radio Silence films. I just felt like Radio Silence films, you know, they weren't definitely weren't as creative, you know. Um, but of course, I go watch them still because obviously they're you know they're Scream films, so gotta go watch it still. But yeah, Scream 7. I really do hope that we get Stu back. I hope that we get Joel back, Mark and Cade, especially Mark and Cade. Like he's one of the like characters that I absolutely want to see back, and also Joel. With Joel, the cameraman, of course, you guys know he's the actor actually wants to come back, so that's pretty interesting on itself that he wants to come back. So yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna call it here. Um, I appreciate all you guys for making it. Obviously, Scott Walker, of course. I know other people couldn't make. Obviously, a lot of other people are at work right now. Um, but those of you that couldn't make it, I would appreciate it if you could hit the like button still for me. Um, I think we're gonna call it for right now. Obviously, until later tonight. Um, I appreciate all you guys, for coming, showing support. Of course, Scott Walker, regular viewer of mine. He's always supporting the channel, and I really appreciate it. And obviously, so those of you that didn't get to watch the stream, be sure to hit the like button for me if you could still, and watch the replay, and also hit the subscribe button as well. Remember, guys, tonight 9:30, we're going to be doing the Friday the 13th stream, of course, which that should be a lot of fun. Definitely should be a lot of fun. Like, we're going to be talking about just the Friday the 13th franchise, and then also the TV series. So yeah, we're going to just be talking about the TV series because there has been a lot of news that I guess has came out. So, but yeah, guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Those of you that's, of course, like Scott Walker, I appreciate you for, obviously he's a regular viewer of mine, so he's always on, he's always showing support. But for those of you that, again, didn't get to watch the stream, be sure to hit the like button. Also, watch out for my stream later on tonight. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys later. See you guys at 9:30 tonight. Peace.